Word to your mother, boys and girls. It is your boy Sniper West coming at you here from WizardsSportsPicks.com. It is Tuesday. It is May 19th, 2026. And don't forget to go to the website, WizardsSportsPicks.com. Tons of great handicappers over there. We bring content to you every single day, doing a lot of shows. So make sure you give a like, subscribe to this channel. We would appreciate it. Helps out with the analytics. I have a couple of fantastic handicappers here today. We have Tom Macrina here on a smoke break. We have Nello here on the show. Going to throw out probably some soccer. I don't know if Nello always has something for us here on. He's actually here on Tuesday. Usually it's Wednesday, but he's making a guest appearance on Tuesday. But the main attraction right now is Mr. Tom Macrina out there in the middle of the woods. I hear those birds. Why is it every single time you're on a show with us, there's always birds, whether you're in your room?
Well, when I'm at home, my bird thinks I'm talking to him because he can't hear your voices because of my earbuds. So he starts talking back and forth with me. That's why the birds today is because the heat is brutal. It's humid out, and I want to be in the shade. So we're gonna be standing inside under some trees for a little bit while we do Tom's smoke break. No fire hazards here, though.
There you go.
Don't worry about that.
96 degrees in Pennsylvania. I was actually talking to my buddy. He's up in Scranton. He said it's almost 100 up there too. So, all right, Tom, we have limited time with you. You are on your smoke break. What do you got for the public today?
Yeah, first, I just want to say thanks again for having me back. I had a wonderful time over at Dover. All my NASCAR haters, if you hate on NASCAR, try and go to a race for a weekend and see how much fun it really is live. It's great. But yeah, I have a few things for the NBA. I do have a premium play for the game tonight, but I'm just going to say it like this, that this is a good spot for the Knicks. They've been sitting at home, resting, preparing for this Cleveland team, while the Cavs, they played a Game 7 just 2 days ago. They played two tough series in a row, long series in a row. So, yeah, I also like the over for that game. My premium's on the side, but I like the over for that game. This Knicks defense is not the same as what we saw with Detroit and Toronto. So I think we're going to see a lot more offense. I think the whole series is going to be a lot of offense. So I like the over here. We're also getting market value coming up here. The WNBA game, I just have a few leans. Last night when I was looking, I thought the Phoenix Mercury points was honestly just too much for me. But I guess the market agrees. This line hasn't moved, but it looks like a lot of money's coming in on the Toronto tempo. I also kind of like the under in that one. It dropped down a bit from the opener, so that's always a good sign for me. And then I have two plays in baseball. I actually had three, but the Red Sox have been steamed. So I'm not going to give that out. I'm not going to recommend that one at the current price that it is. They were actually close to a dog last night when the line opened. Some places are showing minus 140. So I'm going to stay away from that. But I do like two other baseball plays. Cleveland, Detroit. Montero, I talk about him all the time. He's been pitching really well. And then on the other side, you have Parker Messick, who he has been pretty unbelievable this season. I think it keeps on rolling. I like the under here. The under has dropped. You can find under 8 in some places. Personally, I took the 7.5 because it was at plus money. So I'm not expecting many runs in this game. And then another one I like is the Nationals versus Mets. The Mets are throwing out their ace out there. They struggle batting against lefties. Both bullpens are beat up, so I expect both starting pitchers to go long. Last night they went into extra innings. They were tied 5-5. In the 12th inning, the Mets actually blew it up offensively. But when it comes to left-handers, they are struggling. Washington does struggle against the righties, but they keep putting up runs day after day after day. This line is all over the place, too. You could get like a plus 120 in some places. some places that it's as low as plus 106. But yeah, this line's been moving in the Nationals' favor. Everybody likes the New York Mets. So we are going to take the Washington Nationals on the money line, plus 120 if you can find it. I got plus 126. So yeah, those are that's what I'm going with today.
Well, the Washington Nationals, they are plus $581 to the good this year. If you bet to win $100 on the Nationals, you're up $581 on the year. I'll tell you what, Tron and I keep saying it on every single show. The Nationals are just an over machine. They're 30-15 to the over on the season. Why is that? Because they can hit the ball and they have one of the worst bullpens in the league. So keep an eye on those Nationals over. The Reds, too. Same story with the Reds. The Reds just keep going over every single game. They didn't go over last night against your Phillies. But that's because the total was at 10. It finished at 9. But I can get behind the Nationals as well, too. You know, going back to the also, I do agree with the Cleveland-Detroit under as well. Parker Messick and Montero both doing very well. And then going back to your Knicks take, you know, with the over, I saw a stat here. So the Knicks average scoring margin over opponents in the 2 rounds is almost 20 points, 19.4 points. They win. The Knicks are just destroying people. And, you know, that being said, I still don't think they win the championship. Whoever comes out of the West is going to win the title. I was a little surprised to see OKC sound like that last night. But, you know, the credit to the Spurs. One thing about, you know, the Thunder, they have not played well versus the Spurs this year. And that was even with Wemby was coming off the bench in 3 of those 5 games they played each other. And the Spurs beat the Thunder 4 out of 5 times in the regular season. And I was on the Thunder last night, and I was wrong again. For some reason, the Spurs just seem to have the Thunder's number. So I don't know if the Thunder are in trouble. Maybe they are. We'll see what happens with it. But
so real quick on that, if that Spurs game goes, this Spurs series goes to Game 7, and the Knicks seem to like 5 games they win it in, I could see the Knicks having something for either one of these teams. You also got to remember that the Knicks and Spurs faced off against each other in NBA Cup. So yeah, that should be a good matchup as well. So yeah, just watch out for. I think if the Knicks could end this series quickly and they have to wait on another team, I think it definitely benefits the East.
Yeah, I was actually in attendance at that NBA Cup game between the Spurs and the Knicks at T-Mobile out here in Bend. And yeah, watch that. I mean, the Knicks were celebrating like it was 1970 all over, whenever the last time they won the championship. All right, Tom. Anything on the way out? You want to plug any shows you got coming up?
I have a PGA show. It'll be coming out tonight. We'll record that and then drop it later in the night. But other than that, I'm happy to be back.
All right, Mr. Tom McCreta there. Man, the guy's been crushing it here on Tom's Smoke Break. Make sure you guys tune in. 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always kick the show off with Tom on his Smoke Break, giving out some free plays and free winners, really, to people. Tom, you can well, we'll see you tomorrow. People can find you on Twitter over at RyCape, and he's over at wizardsports.com. You can get all his premium plays. Tom, we'll see you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's cash some tickets.
All right, let's roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for myself and Nello here. So, Nello, what do you got for the people today? You got any tennis? You got any baseball? You got any basketball? What are we looking at here today?
I have an early play on soccer in the English Premier League between Tottenham and Chelsea. I also have a premium on the MLB on the Guardians against the Tigers, so I won't talk about that. And I have one player prop for the MLB in the Pirates against the Cardinals game. 2 NBA plays, one on the side and one on the one player prop for the Cavs team. So I'm going to start with a soccer. Game starts at 3:15 p.m. I'm looking at the player prop here. I lean towards Chelsea to win because they are trying to get on European competition spots. So they still have a chance with 2 match days left. So I'm pretty sure that Tottenham also needs points to avoid relegation, but Chelsea is under a new coach in Xabi Alonso. I think they can get a win at home. I just lean on that. The price is minus 110, I think, or plus money, plus 100. But I'm looking here at a player that was left out on the World Cup squad. It's João Pedro from Chelsea. He's a striker. He's the best goal scorer for Chelsea this season with 15 goals and 5 assists. He's averaging 0.8 shots on target per game. Not the best number, but against lower ranked teams, he's been scoring some goals. And I'm taking a player prop here, pretty particular, because if you search for João Pedro's shots on target, you find a low number. But if you check shots on target with his right foot, the line is minus 140. I think that is a little bit juiced, but I think it's a good value because João Pedro's dominant foot is his right one. So I think João Pedro to have at least a shot on the target with his right foot at minus 140 is good. It's a good price. If you don't have that prop, you can sprinkle something on his 2+ shots on target at the plus 180, or you can just go with anytime goal scorer for João Pedro at the plus 145. But my official play here will be the João Pedro over 0.5 shots on target with his right foot at the minus 140.
Let me ask you this real quick question, Nello. I heard, I don't follow soccer that much, but I heard Tottenham might be relegated. Is that true?
Yeah. And Tottenham is one of the biggest historic clubs of England. Very old team, and it's quite surprising the season that they are having, because a few years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, they won the Europa League, and now they are avoiding to get relegated. So there has been quite lots of problems with Tottenham this season. They have been affected with so many injuries on the squad. The coaching has been changing like 4 or 5 times this season, so it's been pretty bad for Tottenham. I think they don't have lots of chances against Chelsea because Chelsea needs the points to try get European competitions next season. But I think Tottenham might survive. They need at least a draw in the last 2 games. So, yeah, but this one I'm leaning towards Chelsea, but my focus here will be João Pedro.
All right, beautiful. What else we got?
If you wanna go through the Cavs next game, if you wanna go first.
Well, yeah, I do. So I actually differ with Tom here. So Tom likes the over in this comp. I like the under. I actually think it's going to be a lower scoring game. So if you look at the head-to-head contest, so when these two teams played each other, the Knicks won the first 2 head-to-head contests. That was late in 2025. Cleveland beat the Knicks 109-94. That was back in February. But the Knicks, obviously, they just swept the Sixers, and they've had a lot of time off. They haven't played in like a week, maybe longer, if I remember. So then I just think if you remember the game last night, so the Spurs and the Thunder, that game would have went under in regulation and under in overtime. It took double overtime for that game to go over, which
I was on the over, actually, the 220.5. I was on the over, so I got pretty lucky on that. And I wasn't on the Spurs to cover. I think the Spurs gives a lot of trouble to the Thunder team. Both teams are stacked, but I think the Spurs have a little bit of advantage, especially with Wemby. He had a monster game.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did very well against the Thunder this year. They won 4 out of 5 games against the Thunder this year. So, but my point is, that game should have went under last night, and it was a game 1, right? So we have a game 1 here with the Knicks and Cavaliers, and I just think that game 1 defensive intensity is paramount. Game 1s tend to go under. Teams like to feel each other out. They don't really know what the game plan is of the other team. So even first half under. I like first half under. I like full game under. But the last 10 times that the Knicks and Cavaliers have played, obviously we're going back to, last season as well. The last 10 games they played each other, 7 of the 10 have gone under. So, and that's pretty much almost the same squads, Cat and Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, they've been with the Cavs for a while. Obviously, Harden's a new addition. But, it's a good sample size. 7 of the last 10 have gone under. So I'm going to go under here, 217.5 between the Knicks and Cavs.
Yeah, I didn't look at the total exactly, but I looked at the side This is Knicks or pass for me, but I have a better perspective for this game. If you check the trends, this situation is very similar to the Knicks and Sixers series. The Sixers went to 7 against Boston, and in game 1 against the Knicks, they got smacked. And now the Cavs are coming from a 7-game series against Detroit, and they're playing the Knicks at home in game 1. So I expect a similar outcome here. I like the 7, but I rather go with the Knicks first half spread at the minus 3.5 at the minus 110. So I think it's a good spot to lay the points with the Knicks, especially on the first half. And I expect a 10+ win points for the Knicks. I expect Cleveland to arrive here a little bit tired, and game 1 should go the Knicks way, especially playing at home. I expect a similar case from what happened with the Sixers.
Yeah, I do think that the Cavaliers maybe could have a little bit of a letdown after winning that series in 7 games. Maybe a little bit of fatigue. I mean, maybe backed up to play this game. I get it, but just after a 7-game series like that, it goes the distance, and then you expend a lot of energy blowing out the Detroit Pistons. It could be a letdown spot for them here, just going into game. The Knicks have been off for quite a while. Sometimes you worry about a team being off for a week. Maybe they're rusty, but I don't think that's going to happen. They just seem to be dialed in. Like I said, I mean, they've been beating teams by 20 points, on average per game in the playoffs. So something happened. I don't know if Mike Brown, adjusted some things, or the Knicks players just came together, but they're playing much better in the playoffs than they played this season. They turned quick. So
I think it's also a good spot to take. I saw this market. The Knicks to win game 1 and you win the series. It's something around minus 140, minus 135. I think it's good value right here because the Knicks are going to win. I think in 5 or 6, and I expect them to win this game 1 and cover.
All right, there you go. We have anything else on the docket with you?
Yeah, I have a player prop for the Cavs. I'm going with Sam Merrill over 1.5 3-pointers. I got this at the minus 135. This is a low number for Sam Merrill. He has good volume shooting, the 3. I think he had 9 threes in game 7 of the Cavs and Pistons game. So I think this will be a good spot for Merrill since he's coming off the bench. And I think Cleveland, by the fact they're going to get smacked, in my opinion, by the Knicks, is going to get some minutes. And I think he's going to get over this line. I think it's too short. Majority of the games, the line is 2.5. So I think it's good value to go with a 1.5. His projected line is 2.83. So I think this is a good number for Sam in this one. So give me Sam Merrill over 1.5 threes at a minus 135.
All right, there you guys go. You have a free play for me. So Tom's on the over, actually, in this next Cavs game. I like the under, so we're split there. But Nello does have the player prop in this game if you want to go ahead and roll with that. Anything else with you today, Nello?
Yeah, I have a player prop in the Pirates against the Cardinals game. I don't know if you have anything on the MLB. I'm going with Mitch Keller under 4.5 strikeouts. I got this at the minus 110. Going through the actual numbers here, he's gone under 9 of the last 15 games. In 2026, this season, he's 3-6. So he's this number feels kind of high for Mitch Keller. I know his the head-to-head against the Cardinals has been favored to him. His 4-0 to this line against the Cardinals, but I think this is a good spot to take the under. So give me Mitch Keller under 4.5 strikeouts at the minus 110.
All right, there you go. Hitting some Major League Baseball on the way out. The National League Central has been a really good division. It's the best division in baseball. I'm actually going to look at the standings here again, but yeah, so the Reds are the worst team in the NL Central, and their record is 500. I mean, they're 24-24.
Yeah.
So, the Cubs 29-19. They're playing very well, but I mean, just the separation. They're only separated by 5. The Cubs have 29 teams at the top of that division. The Reds have 24 at the bottom. So 5 games separate every team in the division. So very, very good baseball being played in the National League Central. All right, Nello. Everybody can find you over at Nello Picks 85. That's your Twitter handle. And I know you're really big on our Discord. You want to plug our Discord and tell everyone to join?
Yeah, just join the Discord. Every single day I'm there. You can ask me anything about sports wise. I am very active there. Also, Tom is there a lot of times. I just go every day, dropping there some free plays that I also drop in Twitter. And yeah, I'm just really excited to share you guys my insights on these games. I'm going to cap the World Cup soon in 1 month, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we are going to do a show, right, Wes? So
yeah, we are. We definitely are. 100% we are. I mean, I don't know if I'll be a part of it or not. I might come on and host. I'm just not the biggest, and I am actually going to be putting out plays for the World Cup. But my soccer, not as far as the players and everything, is a little bit limited. I just have very sharp sources for soccer, including some other people that I know, even overseas that I know. So I got a lot of great information, so I can put up a good soccer record. But if you ask me, what players are on, Liverpool right now, I'd be I'd have a hard time talking about that.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely going to do a World Cup show. It'll probably be you, Rycape, maybe Joey Tron, and maybe we'll bring some people from outside of the website as well, which we do from time to time. And yeah, but yeah, look forward to that World Cup show. It'll probably be, when would be a good time to do that? Maybe
next week or in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just going to be a good time. I'm going to prepare everything. I'm going to do a little preview, going to get some futures going so people can actually bet something before the World Cup starts. And I'm going to be all over the match days.
All right, beautiful. All right, one quick Major League Baseball play for me on the way out. I'm going to look at the Dodgers and the Padres under here. So we're looking at 8 runs here in San Diego. We get Sheehan and Canning here on the mound. Emmett Sheehan, he has not been fantastic for the Dodgers this year, 4.54 ERA and 1.25 WHIP. But he is good, from time to time, and I think he's going to have success here versus the Padres. If you remember the game last night, finished 1-0. The Dodgers did not score a run. The Padres were only able to get 1 run across the plate. Griffin Canning, if you remember, he pitched for the Angels for years. He hasn't been a fantastic pitcher at all in his career. And actually, he's only pitched 11 innings this year so far, and he's given up 13 runs. So it's not very good. So this guy is going to go back down to the major leagues unless he puts it together. And I think he bounces back here tonight. And I think we see another low-scoring game here between the Dodgers and Padres. The Dodgers have been struggling to hit, man. I mean, they scored a lot of runs in that Angels series. In fact, but
the Angels are not a great team.
They're not.
In
fact, the Angels won last night. They were being no hit last night all the way until the 9th inning, and the A's only were able to muster 1 run. And then in the bottom of the 9th inning, after being no hit, they had no hits the whole game. The Angels hit a single and then a home run and won the game 2-1.
I kind of lean on the under on that game. The line is, I think it's 9. I think it's that it's a little bit high, so I lean the under there.
Yeah, the Dodgers, they did in the Angels series. They scored a lot of runs. They scored 6. They won 6-0 Friday, 15-2 on Saturday, 10-1 on Sunday. But that's the Angels, and the Angels pitching staff is terrible. But if you look before that, I mean, 5-2, 4-0. They're losing a bunch of games, and they've just been struggling offensively other than that Angels series. So I like the under 8 tonight a lot in San Diego between the Dodgers and the Padres. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Wizards, for the Wizards Wraparound here. We do the show every single day, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, usually Joey Tron's with us. He had technical difficulties today, and tomorrow he's got something going on, so he can't make it, but that's okay. We always have other people step in for the Wraparound. Nello, thank you for joining us again today. Like I said, you can follow him on Twitter at NelloPicks85. Don't forget to go over to the website, wizardsportspicks.com. Tons of great handicappers and information over there, and please like and subscribe to this video. It does help our analytics, and we will see you guys again tomorrow, same time, same place on the Wizards Wraparound. Peace out, and keep firing.